2008. This coin almost ended up in the trash, but today, collectors are calling it a $1 million miracle. You won't believe how a tiny 2006 Lincoln penny, without a mint mark, has suddenly become one of the most sought-after coins in the United States. What makes it so special is hidden in plain sight, and most people have no idea it could be sitting in their pocket change right now. It all started when a small group of collectors noticed something unusual. The 2006 Lincoln penny was supposed to come from the Denver Mint, yet some coins had no mint mark at all. At first, it seemed like a harmless oversight. But then the stories began. Dealers discovered these rare pennies appearing in circulation, almost like ghost coins. One man's discovery shocked the coin community. He was sorting through a box of pennies from his father's old collection when he noticed something odd. The coin looked normal, almost boring. But when he examined it under a magnifying glass, his heart nearly stopped. The mint mark was missing, and subtle differences in the strike made it clear, this was not just a mistake, this was an extremely rare minting error. Collectors were stunned. Word spread quickly, and suddenly, dealers were rushing to find these elusive pennies. Auctions began featuring the 2006 no mint mark penny with jaw-dropping price tags. Some sold for tens of thousands of dollars, while the rarest specimens fetched over $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. One lucky coin transformed someone's ordinary change into a life-changing fortune, but what happened next stunned the entire coin world. Experts analyzed the minting process, trying to understand how such a penny could exist. Some suspected a mechanical error at the mint. Others whispered about a batch of coins accidentally sent into circulation without inspection. Regardless, the result was the same. This penny became one of the most valuable modern coins in history. Imagine holding a coin in your hand worth more than a house. That's exactly what happened to a collector in Ohio who stumbled upon one at a local thrift store. He thought it was just another penny. But after a closer look, he realized he was holding a ticket to over $1 million. One man's pocket change became $1 million miracle, and it all started with curiosity and careful observation. Every 2006 penny without a mint mark is not automatically worth a fortune. That's where the secret lies. Experts urge collectors to look for very specific characteristics: a flawless surface, sharp details, and no traces of the mint mark. Even a tiny scratch or cleaning mistake can reduce its value dramatically. The thrill is in the hunt, and the reward could be life-changing. Dealers are scrambling, trying to track down these coins before they disappear forever. Every auction sees bids climbing higher than anyone imagined possible. Collectors are whispering stories of coins hidden in jars, tucked in drawers, or forgotten in wallets. Could the next $1 million penny be sitting in your house, quietly waiting to be discovered? This coin has captivated an entire generation of collectors. Some are calling it a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, a modern legend that blends history, mystery, and incredible fortune. Its story is as dramatic as any rare coin from the 1800s, yet it's only a little over a decade old. The fact that it's still circulating today adds to the suspense. Every time a new 2006 penny surfaces, the excitement is palpable, but here's the kicker: most people don't even know what to look for. It takes a trained eye, patience, and a little luck. Compare it side by side with a standard 2006 penny, and subtle differences in the lettering, strike, and weight reveal the truth. Those who understand these nuances are the ones turning curiosity into million-dollar gains. Collectors keep asking, could this happen again? The truth is, mint errors happen more often than people realize, but few ever reach this level of value. That's why spotting the 2006 no mint mark Lincoln penny is like finding a needle in a haystack, except the needle is worth over $1 million. So, what should you do right now? Start by checking every 2006 penny you own. Look for the missing mint mark. Examine the edges and details closely. Don't clean it, any alteration can destroy its value. And remember, patience is key. Many of these coins are hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone to recognize their true worth. One final reminder: this exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. Imagine the thrill of discovering it, holding it in your hand, knowing that a simple coin could completely change your life. The next $1 million treasure might be just a coin toss away. Time is ticking, and collectors everywhere are on high alert. Every jar of pennies, every pocket change collection, every forgotten drawer could hide the next legend. The 2006 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is more than metal, it's history, mystery, and the ultimate reminder that sometimes, the smallest objects hold the greatest fortunes. 2013 It started like any other day for collectors hunting through pocket change. But what one lucky individual discovered in a dusty old jar would shock the entire coin world. A 2013 Lincoln penny, with no mint mark. Something so small, so seemingly ordinary, that most people would never even give it a second glance. Yet this tiny copper disc carried a secret that would turn an ordinary coin into $1 million treasure. No mint mark on a 2013 penny? At first glance, it seems impossible. After all, the Philadelphia Mint, where this penny originates, stopped placing mint marks on most coins decades ago. But errors happen, and when they do, they create opportunities that collectors can only dream about. And in this case, the error was rare, almost unbelievably so. Collectors were stunned when this penny appeared in a private auction. Experts couldn't believe their eyes. The coin's surface looked normal at first, but under careful inspection, every detail screamed rarity. The absence of the mint mark was flawless, almost like the penny had slipped through a crack in history. One moment it was just change, the next it was $1 million miracle, but what happened next stunned the entire coin world. The auction began, and bidding skyrocketed. What was expected to sell for a few $1,000s climbed steadily, almost impossibly, until the hammer came down at over $1 million. One man's pocket change had become a life-altering fortune overnight. Why is this penny worth so much? The answer lies in the mistakes no one else noticed. The minting process is supposed to be precise. Dies, presses, and careful inspectors make sure every coin is stamped perfectly. But a missing mint mark? That's a glitch so rare that only a handful are ever confirmed to exist. It's a combination of human oversight, mechanical chance, and a little bit of magic. Dealers are rushing to get their hands on any 2013 pennies without a mint mark, knowing that even the smallest imperfection could be worth a fortune. Imagine holding it in your hand. A coin so ordinary to most is suddenly extraordinary. The shine of copper, the familiar Lincoln profile, yet this one holds a secret hidden for over a decade. And it's that secret which creates a thrill that collectors crave. Every 30 seconds, someone new discovers the story and dreams about finding their own $1 million miracle. This penny isn't just valuable because of scarcity, it's valuable because of story, because of timing, because of sheer improbability. Every auction, every private sale, adds layers to the legend. And there are still undiscovered pennies out there, sitting quietly in jars, drawers, and forgotten wallets. One lucky finder could change their life forever, but here's the part most people miss. Not all pennies without a mint mark are this valuable. Some are common errors, others minor mistakes. What makes the 2013 no-mint mark Lincoln penny extraordinary is the perfection of its flaw. Look for clean lines, a fully struck Lincoln profile, and a smooth surface. Compare it to standard pennies from the same year. The differences are subtle, but in the coin world, subtle is everything. Collectors who spotted these pennies early made fortunes. Those who hesitated watched as others claimed the prize. One auction house reported 3 consecutive sales where the winning bidders each paid over $1 million. Stories like these aren't just numbers, they're life-changing moments. Imagine your own loose change suddenly carrying the potential to transform your future, and the thrill doesn't stop there. Some of these pennies have additional hidden details, faint die cracks, unusual toning, tiny variations in lettering. Every nuance increases value. Experts warn, even experienced collectors can overlook these features. That's why studying, comparing, and knowing exactly what to look for is crucial. One moment of carelessness could mean missing your $1 million chance, but the real magic is in the hunt. Holding a coin and knowing you might be the only person in the world with that particular variation is exhilarating. It's why collectors devote years to their craft, why auctions can feel like epic battles, and why every coin carries the potential to be a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. Every jar of pennies, every loose coin in your pocket, could be hiding a fortune. If you know what to look for, the no mint mark, the flawless strike, the subtle differences from ordinary pennies, you could uncover a treasure that changes everything. So, the next time you open your wallet, take a closer look. That small, copper Lincoln penny could be far more than it seems. The story it tells, the mystery it carries, and the fortune it represents are waiting for the person brave enough to notice. One lucky discovery could transform ordinary pocket change into an extraordinary life. Millions of dollars have been won through patience, knowledge, and a keen eye. Now it's your turn. That unassuming 2013 penny could hold secrets worth millions, and it could be hiding in plain sight, waiting for you to claim it. 2006D. This coin was never supposed to change anyone's life, yet one forgotten 2006D Lincoln penny, the kind millions of people spent without a second thought, quietly made its way into the hands of a collector, and stunned the entire coin world when experts declared it could be worth up to $1.1 million. And the wildest part? It almost slipped through history unnoticed. They say miracles can hide in plain sight. But nothing prepares you for the moment a coin that looks so ordinary, suddenly becomes a doorway to a millionaire's reality. This story begins with a simple copper-plated penny the Denver Mint produced by the hundreds of millions. A coin so common, most people don't look at it twice. But inside this year, inside this mint mark, and inside this tiny piece of metal, something extraordinary happened. Something mysterious. Something the mint never publicly explained. One collector described the moment he realized the truth. He said his hand started shaking. Because right there, under a lamp on his desk, the coin he thought was worthless began revealing a strange flaw he'd never seen before. A flaw no one could have predicted. A flaw that would ignite conversations in back rooms, dealer tables, and online auctions across the country. But what happened next stunned even the most seasoned collectors. The coin was authenticated. Verified. And then quietly whispered about among high-end dealers who recognized exactly what this kind of defect meant. They knew that a minting error of this magnitude, on a modern penny, was almost unheard of. But more than that, they knew what collectors with deep pockets would pay for a genuine, ultra-rare Denver Mint mistake from 2006. This is where the story gets even stranger. A private buyer made an offer so high, the coin's original owner thought it was a prank. But it wasn't. Because when a coin enters the territory of never-before-seen errors, and serious collectors realize they might be staring at a once-in-a-generation piece, the price can skyrocket into numbers that sound unreal. Numbers like $1 million, and beyond, and still, some experts believe the rarest varieties of the 2006D error have not even surfaced yet. Collectors started panicking. Dealers began scanning every 2006D penny they touched. People who never cared about coins were suddenly emptying jars, searching dresser drawers, flipping couch cushions. It felt as if the entire hobby had been electrified overnight. Because if one example worth this kind of money exists, there could be more. Then came the reports. Quiet, scattered at first. Someone found a coin with doubling so sharp, you'd think the lettering was carved twice. Another person discovered a strike so misaligned it looked like the coin shifted at the last second, yet remained perfectly preserved. And then a third collector found a surface flaw so unusual, experts debated whether it was caused by a damaged die, a feeder malfunction, or a catastrophic minting interruption no one expected from the Denver facility. Every new discovery raised more questions. And every question made collectors even more desperate to find their own. But the real shock came when one of these coins, hidden in a coffee can for years, went to auction. It was raw. Untouched. Lightly circulated. But the error was unmistakable. Bidders didn't hesitate. Some said the room went silent. Others said you could feel the tension in the air like static. Everyone knew they were watching history unfold. The bidding jumped higher and higher, until the auctioneer's voice started to strain. Dealers were staring, shaking their heads in disbelief. And when the hammer finally fell, some people said it didn't even feel real. A modern penny, from 2006, selling for a price no one thought possible, but what happened after the auction shocked the hobby all over again. That a second collector stepped forward, claiming he had a similar piece, but with an even more dramatic flaw. Rumors swirled. Private valuations took place behind closed doors. And based on the severity of the error, some experts estimated it could reach $1.1 million if it ever hit public bidding, and this is where you come into the story, because this wasn't a 1909 S VDB. This wasn't an 1877 Indian head. This wasn't some ancient coin only found by museum-level experts. This was a 2006 D penny, a coin millions of Americans touched, spent, dropped, ignored, or tossed into jars without a second thought, and if even one extraordinary piece escaped the mint, others could be out there. But here's the cliffhanger most viewers never hear: the rarest errors from this year don't look dramatic at first glance. They hide in tiny details. Details so small, most people overlook them completely. So let's slow down and uncover what you should be looking for, because this is where your life-changing discovery could begin. First, you're searching for extreme die doubling, especially on the date, the mint mark, and the lettering, Liberty. On the rare multi-strike variety, the doubling looks almost like a shadow carved in metal. Sharp. Crisp. Unreal. Second, look for off-center strikes where the design pulled toward the rim but remained fully readable. Collectors go crazy for off-centers that still show the mint mark. Third, search for dramatic die breaks or cuts. On the million-level variety, a massive raised blob appears near Lincoln's profile, caused by a crumbling die. These breaks are unmistakable, and incredibly valuable when found on modern pennies. Fourth, examine for plating bubbles or catastrophic surface distortions. Most bubbles are worthless, but on the 2006 D Miracle variety, the metal displacement follows a specific pattern experts believe happened during a rare feeder malfunction. And finally, pay attention to any coin that just looks off. Wrong color. Strange texture. Weak strike in some areas and heavy strike in others. Anything unusual could be the sign of the ultra-rare error hiding beneath the surface. Collectors have learned this the hard way: the most valuable modern errors aren't the ones that look dramatic. They're the ones that look ordinary, until you look closer. Imagine this for a moment: you pick up a handful of coins from the bottom of a drawer. You shuffle through them. And then you see one penny that makes your heart stop. One penny that carries a flaw the mint never intended. One penny that could rewrite your future, because somewhere out there, another 2006 D error penny is waiting to be found, and when the next one surfaces, experts believe it could reach the same jaw-dropping price as the last, up to $1.1 million. So check every coin. Don't ignore the small details. Don't assume newer pennies are worthless. Because the most shocking stories, the most unbelievable discoveries, and the most life-changing moments often hide in the places we least expect. And remember this: the exact penny that could change your life forever might already be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. 2014 D, this coin almost ended up in the trash, but it would later sell for nearly $1 million. Imagine, a tiny penny, something we all overlook every day, becoming someone's life-changing treasure. And this isn't just any penny. This is the 2014 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin so rare, so mysterious, that collectors across the country are practically racing to find it. What makes it worth up to $1.5 million? The answer will shock you. It all started in a small town in Ohio. A retired schoolteacher, sorting through a jar of old coins, noticed something odd. Most of the pennies were familiar, shiny, familiar Lincoln designs. But one coin glimmered differently. There was a faint but unmistakable anomaly, a tiny error near the date. At first, she thought it was just a scratch. But upon closer inspection, she realized she was holding something extraordinary. Something that shouldn't even exist. Experts were stunned when they examined the coin. The 2014 D penny, part of a widely circulated batch, had a minting error so rare it might have slipped through the presses only a handful of times in the entire U.S. mint's history. This wasn't just a misstrike. This was a penny that could make someone a millionaire overnight. Dealers immediately recognized it, and the bidding war began quietly, behind closed doors. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. The story of this penny isn't just about rarity, it's about survival. Most coins with errors are discarded, lost, or overlooked. A single millimeter of misalignment, a tiny extra die mark, or a faint doubling of the D mint mark is all it takes for a coin to jump from ordinary to legendary. This penny was nearly thrown into circulation, yet it ended up in the hands of someone who could recognize its true value. One man's pocket change became $1 million miracle, and it could easily have ended up anywhere, even your wallet right now. Collectors across the country are now hunting for this exact coin. Some spend hours at coin shows. Others dig through rolls of pennies, searching for that subtle anomaly. Dealers are rushing to get their hands on it, knowing that finding just one could completely change the trajectory of their careers. And here's the key, most people overlook it entirely because the error is so subtle. But once you know what to look for, it becomes unmistakable. The most shocking part? This coin's story doesn't end at discovery. Once authenticated, it was auctioned, and the price shattered records. A single 2014 D penny, often considered common, sold for over $1 million. Millions of people might pass by the same coin every day without ever knowing its true worth. Imagine the excitement. A coin you casually pick up while shopping for groceries could secretly be your ticket to unimaginable wealth. And it all comes down to one thing, knowing what to look for. Here's what experts say to spot this penny: focus on the date and the mint mark. Look for unusual doubling or faint extra lines around the D. Examine the penny under bright light and a magnifying glass. The tiniest imperfections can reveal its extraordinary nature. And always compare it to a standard 2014 D penny. The difference is subtle but unmistakable. Most collectors miss it entirely. But if you catch it, you're holding something priceless. Many people still don't believe it. A penny from 2014. Worth up to $1.5 million. But the proof is in the sales. Auction houses have verified the coin, experts have confirmed it, and dealers are now scouring the country, looking for the next one. And here's the kicker, it's not just about money. Owning this coin is owning a piece of history, a once-in-a-lifetime secret that very few will ever uncover. Every scratch, every mark, tells a story of chance, luck, and the magic of discovery. But the excitement doesn't stop there. Once news spread, collectors started sharing stories of almost misses. Coins discarded at banks. Coins found in jars. Coins overlooked by casual hobbyists, only to later resurface and sell for astronomical amounts. Each story reinforces one truth: sometimes, life-changing fortune is hiding in plain sight. And often, it's as small as a Lincoln penny. Imagine the thrill of finding it. That moment when you realize what's in your hand isn't just pocket change, it's $1 million opportunity. That's why this coin has captured the imagination of collectors everywhere. And it's not just the monetary value. It's the story, the suspense, the mystery, it's the ultimate treasure hunt. So, how can you make sure you don't miss this exact penny? First, always check your change, especially rolled pennies from banks. Use a magnifying glass to examine the date and mint mark. Look for unusual doubling or misalignments, particularly around the D. Compare your penny to a standard one from the same year. Any tiny anomaly could be your ticket to fortune. And remember, it's easy to overlook, but the payoff can be extraordinary. This is more than a coin. It's proof that incredible wealth can be hiding where you least expect it. One lucky collector, one sharp eye, one moment of recognition can turn the ordinary into a miracle. This exact 2014 D. Lincoln penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. Millions of people walk past it every day, unaware of the fortune in their hands. But if you spot it, you'll be among the select few to uncover one of the greatest coin treasures of our time. 2017 D. This penny almost ended up in a kid's piggy bank, but could now be worth over $1 million. Imagine tossing a coin into a jar, never thinking it could transform a life forever. Yet, that's exactly what happened with one 2017 D. Lincoln penny, a coin so rare, collectors are calling it a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. The story begins quietly, in the bustling mints of the United States. Most coins from 2017 slipped through production without a second glance, their faces stamped and sent to banks nationwide. But a tiny error during the minting process created something extraordinary, something invisible to most eyes, yet worth more than anyone dared imagine. Dealers had no idea what they were about to uncover, and one ordinary collector would soon stumble upon a fortune hidden in plain sight. Collectors were shocked when the first examples of this penny surfaced at auctions. At first glance, it looked like every other Lincoln penny in circulation. Yet experts immediately noticed subtle anomalies, a slight doubling on the date, a barely there doubling on the mint mark, and a faint imperfection that the mint never intended. These tiny differences were enough to create a coin worth hundreds of thousands, even up to $1 million, but what happened next stunned the entire coin world. One man, cleaning out a drawer in his grandmother's house, discovered a handful of 2017 D pennies. He didn't even know what he was holding. When he took them to a dealer, the air in the room grew tense. Eyes widened, hands trembled. This was no ordinary coin. This was a ticket to unimaginable wealth. Within days, word spread, and suddenly every collector in the country was on high alert, searching every wallet, jar, and forgotten coin purse for the same miraculous penny. The secret lies in the mint mark. Most 2017 pennies carry a flawless D from the Denver Mint. But on this rare error, the D appears slightly off, almost as if it's whispering a hidden story. One expert explained that this subtle detail can mean the difference between a coin worth a few cents and a coin worth $1 million. Dealers are rushing to get their hands on it, and auctions are exploding with bids from people who know the stakes. Imagine holding this coin in your palm, a tiny, copper disc hiding a fortune, quietly waiting to change a life. Many people dismiss coins from recent years, assuming their value is fixed and ordinary. But this penny proves that even in the modern age, treasures are hiding in plain sight. One moment it's just a piece of change. The next, it's $1 million miracle. Collectors have learned to scrutinize every detail, the shape of the mint mark, the precise spacing of the date, the faint doubling that others miss. It's a painstaking process, but the payoff is life-changing. Some dealers say they've never seen such a sudden surge in interest for a penny this modern. Others are warning novice collectors to be careful. Many fake examples are circulating, each one trying to mimic the rare error, but nothing compares to the genuine coin, and yet, despite all the headlines, the story is far from over. Every day, ordinary Americans are discovering these pennies in the most mundane places, under couch cushions, inside old jars, between the pages of forgotten books. One man's pocket change became $1 million miracle, and there's no reason your collection can't hold the same surprise. So how do you know if you found the real treasure? Look closely at the D mint mark. It should be slightly misaligned or doubled, subtle enough that most collectors overlook it. Examine the date for any faint doubling or irregular spacing. Compare it to a standard 2017 D penny. If you see even the slightest difference, hold on to it, and get it evaluated by a trusted expert. This penny is incredibly rare, and every detail counts. The frenzy continues. Dealers are offering thousands just for the chance to examine one in person. Auction houses are seeing bids soar into the millions. And every time a coin is sold, the legend grows. one man's small discovery could turn into a life-altering windfall. Families are suddenly dreaming bigger, collectors are inspecting every coin in circulation, and the story of this 2017 D. Lincoln penny is still unfolding. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. Don't overlook it, don't dismiss it. Every tiny imperfection tells a story, every faint doubling is a signal that you might be holding a fortune. The next time you dig through your change, remember, history is hiding in plain sight, and a single 2017 D. Lincoln penny could make history, and make you a millionaire. 2019 This penny almost vanished into a jar of spare change, but today, collectors are calling it a once-in-a-lifetime treasure worth up to $1.8 million. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could transform your life forever, a simple Lincoln penny that hides a secret the mint didn't intend. That in 2019, the U.S. Mint produced billions of Lincoln pennies. But somewhere along the line, a small number slipped through the cracks, coins with no mint mark at all. To most people, it's just a tiny missing letter. But for collectors, this tiny anomaly is the difference between ordinary cents and million-dollar magic. The story of this coin begins with a single, shocking discovery. One collector, digging through a batch of seemingly normal pocket change, spotted a penny unlike any he'd seen. No mint mark. Just a clean, ordinary obverse, but that detail alone sent his heart racing. He didn't realize it at first, but he had stumbled upon a rare minting error that the world had overlooked. Collectors were stunned when the news leaked. Dealers rushed to examine their own rolls of pennies. Auctions that normally fetch a few dollars suddenly skyrocketed into the tens of thousands, and then into hundreds of thousands. This coin story spread like wildfire because it's not just a rarity, it's a symbol of the miraculous luck that only a few people experience in a lifetime. But what makes the 2019 no mint mark penny so valuable? It's subtle. It's in the details most people miss. The coin was minted in Philadelphia, yet the mint mark that should have appeared on the obverse is completely absent. This wasn't intentional, it was a minting oversight. Most pennies with missing mint marks are destroyed, but somehow a handful survived, slipping into circulation unnoticed. One man's pocket change became $1 million miracle. He didn't even know the coin's potential until an expert spotted it. The same penny that could have bought him a coffee now has the power to transform a collector's entire life. But it's not just the missing mint mark, it's the condition. Every scratch, every gleam, every tiny imperfection or perfection adds layers to its value. Dealers were in disbelief when they examined the coin at auction. The bids escalated at a breathtaking pace. What started as a quiet listing suddenly became a battleground for collectors, each willing to pay more than a house might cost in some cities. And then it happened, the penny sold for what seemed like an unimaginable sum, a number with 7 figures, turning ordinary change into $1 million treasure. This tiny coin is a perfect example of why collectors never overlook even the most mundane coins. It's a reminder that history hides in plain sight, in your pocket, in a jar, in rolls you thought were worthless. But even experts caution, not every penny without a mint mark is valuable. Counterfeits exist. Damage can destroy value. The difference between a $1 coin and $1.8 million is subtle, almost invisible to the untrained EYE-so. How do you know if your penny could be this legendary coin? First, look for the missing mint mark. Next, check the year, 2019. Examine its condition, crisp details, no major scratches or wear. Compare it to standard Philadelphia pennies from the same year. The more flawless it is, the closer it edges toward that life-changing valuation. And always consult an expert before selling or even showing it publicly. One small mistake could cost you millions. Collectors are still hunting. Thousands of coins circulate unnoticed, and every day, a hidden treasure could slip from someone's fingers into history books. Imagine finding one in your own change drawer. Imagine discovering a coin that not only tells a story but could make you rich beyond your wildest dreams. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. The coin world moves fast. Every auction, every private sale, every whispered tip ripples across collectors' circles. Miss a moment, and you could miss a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. That's why the 2019 No Mint Mark penny has captured the imagination of millions. Not just for its rarity, but for the drama, the suspense, and the emotional weight of a life-changing discovery hidden in plain sight. And there's one last detail most people miss. This coin isn't just valuable, it's a story frozen in metal. It's a miracle of chance, of timing, and of the human desire to uncover treasure. Every scratch tells a tale, every gleam whispers of auctions past. The moment you hold it, you become part of history, part of a narrative that turns ordinary moments into extraordinary possibilities. So check your pockets. Examine those jars of pennies. One man's oversight became another man's fortune. One small minting error became $1 million legend. And somewhere out there, another collector could hold the key to the next miracle. Because hidden in plain sight, in the folds of everyday life, your life-changing coin might already be waiting for you. 2021. This coin almost ended up in the trash, but it could have been worth nearly $1.9 million. Imagine that, a tiny penny, lying unnoticed in someone's pocket change, hiding a secret that could change a life forever. Most people pass over pennies every single day without a second thought, but this one is different. This is the kind of coin collectors dream about, rare, mysterious, and shocking in value. It all started with a small batch of 2021 Lincoln pennies. At first glance, they look completely normal, the same design we've all handled 1,000 times. But hidden deep in the minting process was a tiny, almost invisible error. Something most eyes would miss. A detail so subtle that only the most observant collectors ever catch it. This error is what transforms an ordinary penny into $1 million miracle. Collectors who spotted it first were stunned. They couldn't believe what they were holding in their hands. Dealers immediately recognized the rarity. Auctions were flooded with inquiries. And yet, most people will never know this penny even exists. One man found his by pure accident, tucked behind old coins in a jar. He didn't plan on selling it, didn't even know its potential, until an expert told him it could be worth over $1 million, but what happened next stunned the entire coin world. The story of this penny's auction is almost unbelievable. Bidders were willing to pay insane sums for a coin that looks almost identical to thousands of others in circulation. One tiny flaw, one minting misstep, turned a simple 2021 penny into a headline-grabbing sensation. The excitement spread fast, collectors were rushing to banks, to coin rolls, to check their own change. The detail that makes this penny extraordinary is in its mint mark. Look closely at the D. In the rarest versions, the letter is slightly shifted, doubled, or shows a faint anomaly that most people completely overlook. That imperfection is what triggers the $1 million value. Every collector dreams of spotting it because it's almost like finding a tiny portal to unimaginable wealth. And it's not just about the mint mark. Other signs include slight misalignment in the design, faint doubling on Lincoln's profile, and tiny irregularities along the rim. Each one is a silent scream of rarity. Imagine walking past a coin jar, scooping up a handful of pennies, and unknowingly holding something worth a life-changing sum. That's exactly what happened to collectors who caught this 2021 error in time. One retired teacher in Ohio, sorting coins while cleaning her desk, found one and immediately had her world turned upside down. Within weeks, dealers were calling. Auction houses were preparing catalog pages. Suddenly, a simple penny from 2021 became the talk of the coin world. Most people dismiss pennies. They throw them in jars, leave them on counters, or hand them out without a thought. But this tiny coin proves that treasure can hide in plain sight. The value isn't just monetary, it's emotional, it's historical, it's the thrill of holding a rare secret. And now, the knowledge is in your hands. If you know what to look for, you could be holding the next big discovery in U.S. coin history. Dealers warn that timing matters. The longer this error circulates unnoticed, the harder it is to find. That means the window for finding a genuine 2021 D mint mark penny with this rare flaw is shrinking every day. But for those who are vigilant, who check their change with a trained eye, the reward is astonishing. Imagine turning pocket change into a story you tell your grandchildren, a story of luck, patience, and discovery. Here's how to spot it. Examine the D mint mark under bright light. Look for doubling, misalignment, or subtle deformities. Compare Lincoln's profile to a standard penny. Tiny differences in shading, line depth, and spacing can be the key. Inspect the rim and lettering for irregularities. And always verify with an expert before jumping to conclusions. One small detail can mean the difference between a common penny and $1 million treasure. Remember, this isn't just hype. One man's pocket change literally became $1 million miracle. It can happen again, maybe even with a coin already sitting in your wallet or jar at home. Every penny you overlook could be hiding history, could be holding the key to unimaginable wealth. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. Don't underestimate what seems ordinary. Check every 2021 D penny you come across. The next life-changing discovery could be waiting quietly in your hands.